Welcome. In front of me I have the new Huawei P60 Pro phone, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick overview of this device. So let's just get straight into it. We get the typical Huawei pamphlet right here that whatever you can get in the app gallery you can just kind of clone from a other device. Now, typically that will be all right, but I do have a little bit of a problem with kind of this. So as a device that is obviously a premium device, also in hopefully in specs, which I haven't looked at yet, but obviously in the price, having this kind of thing and being kind of forced to rely on other phones, because that's basically what it is, telling you that hey, you can use a other phone that actually has access to Play Store to move over the data, would have been okay at a device that is cheaper than what it is cost. At this price, having this kind of thing, it's kind of like, yeah, we don't give a shit, figure it out yourself. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Anyway, moving on, we do have a case in here, which is always nice to see. A little flimsy silicone case, paperwork, so I'm just gonna toss that to the side. And then we get our charger. This is a, ooh, nice, an 80, that's interesting. It's an 88 watt charger, which can apparently charge your phone and a tablet. And as you can see, we actually have two ports on here. We have a Type-C and we have a typical USB port. And when it comes down to the cable, this is a Type-A USB to Type-C. So you get the above port. But obviously if you have a cable that has dual Type-C ports, you could use it. Possibly their matebooks could come with them. I had one or two of them, but I don't recall what kind of chargers they came with. So possibly if they have dual Type-Cs, you can use this charger and only carry one power brick with you. And this one is really compact as well for an 88 watt charger. This is a really good charger at a super small size, to be honest. And obviously the cable. So that's basically all we have in here. Now let's move over to the device. Now the first thing that actually stands out to me when I took it out was the back. Now it does have a look to it like it's uneven, like these are actually like just kind of like granite looking unpolished surface. I'm not exactly sure if the camera is picking up the uneven look of this, but this is just normal glass. There's no like unevenness to it. It is a matte finish, so just pointing that out. It's not like, typical glass mirrored finish. And above that we have the camera setup, and this is an interesting looking camera setup, which I guess I can touch upon right away. So the main camera will be the 48 megapixel wide sensor with f1.4. Then we got a 48 megapixel telephoto. And then we get a 13 megapixel ultra wide. So 48, 48, and a 13 megapixel. Now with those cameras you can record at 4K 30 or 60 frames, or 1080p 30 and 60, and also at 1080p you have a slow motion of 960 frames. So pretty nice little slow motion right here. Now at the front we have a typical 13 megapixel selfie shooter. Now I'm actually not going to go through the setup. I'm just going to keep it like this just so we can see the actual screen right here. So at the front, in terms of the screen, we are looking at LTPO OLED display, 1 billion colors and 120 Hertz refresh rate, so it's really nice. It's a 6.67 inch display with a 89.8% screen to body ratio, so we do have a fairly minimal bezels all around. The phone looks really nice and premium at the front as well as the back. So that is really nice to see. We also have a curved display. The LTPO does imply that it is curved. So we have nice little curved bezels. We also have a screen protector that is pre-applied to the phone, which maybe I can pick it up. Not sure if you can see it around the camera, but it is coming with like this plastic screen protector. So once that gets scratched, you can just remove it. Now moving further, in terms of the resolution right here, this is a 1220 pixels by 2700 pixels. So we do have a pretty nice resolution, putting it at 444 pixels per inch. So it is one of the more dense displays in terms of like how clear it will look like. So it's pretty nice. And other things to mention, let's now touch upon the just build right here and a couple additional things. So we have aluminum frame, glass back. We have our volume rockers on our top right side of the phone, along with our power button with a little red lining right here. At the top, we do have a IR blaster, so you can connect this device or substitute this device for remote controls. And you can, for instance, use it with their application. There is an app installed as a remote control for like AC units or stuff like that. It's pretty handy if you get to like a hotel with an AC unit, but batteries and the actual remote die. You can just pop in the name of the AC unit, connect it, and then use this phone as a controller, which is really nice to have. And obviously it doesn't stop there. You can use it for like TV boxes, TV itself, lights, and so on. So it is a pretty versatile option. Now, on the left side, we got absolutely nothing apart from just this cutout for antenna right over here. And at the bottom, we have our tray for our SIM card, charging port, speakers, and that's it. And at the top, we also have speakers along with a microphone. So that's basically all we have right here. And in terms of charging, we do obviously charge at 88 watts wired, which the charger comes with the device, and that is really nice to have. But we can okay, never mind. I was just getting baffled right here because I couldn't read correctly. We also have a 50 watt wireless charging. So if you have a decent wireless charger, you can just slap it in and you're still going to be charging faster than a Galaxy Fold 4, which is hilarious on a cable. So yeah, now apart from that, for this charger or charging speed, we do have a 4,815 watt or milliamp hour battery right here. So with this kind of battery, you're going to be charging this device really quickly. It's probably going to be around like half an hour to about 80-90%. Let's see if there's any mention. Nope. Huawei didn't mention any kind of charging speed, so I'm just going to have to guess, but that would sound about right. Now, processor in here is surprisingly a Snapdragon. That actually caught me off guard. So we do have a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which is the same processor that a Galaxy Fold 4 has, and I think S23 had a newer processor, so never mind. So yeah, the Fold has it. We also have a couple of variants of it with from 8 to 12 gigs of RAM, and in terms of storage, we are looking anywhere from 256 gigabytes to 512. Now these are only like two variants, so we have the 256 with 8 and 512 gigs with 12 gigs of RAM. So there we go. Now obviously there is no expandable storage, so whatever you get is whatever you will have. So if you need more than 256 gigabytes of storage, make sure you go for the bigger storage version. Otherwise, you will be kind of, to say it kind of kindly, screwed. And that's about all there is to say about this device. It's a relatively premium device in terms of these specs. It is running a little bit of an older processor, considering it is the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, not the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is now the newest one. But still, both of these processors are not that far apart, and both of them will deal with whatever you throw at it without a single problem. Battery is a little bit, for the device, I would say could have been like 5000 milliamps, but still the charging speed right here will more than make up for it. The included charger here is really nice to see. So at the end of the day, it is a flagship device, and well, any kind of point of it. It has really good charging speeds, it has a decent battery, a good processor, a really good display, and comes with everything that you would expect from a flagship device. The only thing that it won't come with is the Play services, which to some people will be an absolute deal breaker. That's understandable, but to people that don't mind taking maybe a kind of like a, I don't know how to call it, a chance, because that's kind of how I would consider it. You could check it out, though keep that in mind that taking a chance on a full-fledged flagship that comes at flagship price of, what is it? I'll just quickly check. Oh right, it's almost 1200 euros. Just a, measly 1200 euros for a device that comes with no Play services. Seems to be a little bit of a, I would say, a mistake, because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, if you're missing some crucial apps that you want to have access to, you either have to use another device that has access to these apps and then clone it over, or you just, well, forced to not have them at all. And at a 1200 euro price tag, this seems like a thing that shouldn't be a problem at all. I would expect for that price the device to compete with all the other flagships and not give me some kind of hassle that I need to deal with. So just to conclude this, it's a great device as a hardware, but obviously the software will be the limiting factor. And to anybody who won't mind this, obviously it will be a fantastic device, but to people that needed that software to be on par with every other device, that will be a massive deal breaker, and obviously won't be really a device for you. Now, with this being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.